Hey everybody, I was out here getting ready to do a little bit of shop maintenance or hay equipment stuff, getting it ready for, may try to cut hay if the weather's decent the next week or so. It has started growing a little bit better. I'm going to show you something here that's happened several weeks ago. I haven't showed it on the channel, but I had my bus parked up at school and it's been there a few days, and I come out and I noticed this here, there's a dent there and a dent there, and then green paint has been added onto it. Of course, the yellow was underneath the black. And they had mowed one day, the custodians had. Come to find out, they had, one of them T-boned the side of my bus, didn't tell me. I happened to find it out later, and then did some investigating and determined that is exactly what hit it, was the John Deere riding lawnmower. And then they denied it even happening, so said they didn't know it happened. How do you not know? Like, that's the only place it could have happened, because when it's parked here, it's always in between stuff. It measures the same as the height of the hood. There's black paint on the John Deere hood, green paint on the bus. Pretty well told to tell. So I don't see how they could deny it. But anyways, that's over and done with. I don't know if I'm going to try to paint it and fix it or just leave it. I don't know. It just kind of disgusted me. Made me sick. I mean, if they'd have come told me that it happened, I would have understood, and you know, I'd have been disappointed, upset, or whatever. But the fact that it happened and nobody come and notified me, and I found out later, then they denied it. That bothered me. I don't work that way. But anyways, got this tedder out. I've heard a couple people has told me that they have bought the Rossi Vortex tedder for this coming year, and I'm excited about that. I'm glad to know that people is seeing it be used on my channel, and they feel like it's worthy of purchasing themselves. And I 100% back this unit. I mean, it may give me trouble, but so far, for the price it was, and the build quality and the performance, I think it would be very hard to beat this Rossi Vortex tedder. Got all kinds of grease fittings on it, which is what I'm getting ready to work on today. Which you've got grease fittings there at the pivot points on either side, grease fitting underneath, grease fitting in the gearbox here, grease fitting underneath. The only place it don't have grease fittings that I kind of wished it did, which I don't know if any of them do, is in these wheels, especially on the transport wheels down there, because they get a lot of miles put on them. Grease fittings on these little arms that kind of push the side arms out. They're spring loaded, and that kind of gives them a little start out of the latches. I mean, it's the only place it don't have a grease point that I think it should is on the wheels, but they're sealed bearings and stuff. So you kind of have to grease it stood up to some extent. I guess you can pretty well grease it everything stood up, and you have to go in through this hole right here to get the universal grease fittings. I can't remember if there's anything that you have to lay it down for or not to grease, but I'm fixing to find that out. We'll get this thing ready before I go get my V-rake, get it ready and get it adjusted and set up for first cutting hay, because it's still set for second cutting hay. I have yet to decide if we're going to, what we're going to use this year tractor wise. Generally, in the past, we've primarily used the farm tractor rake with, the 135 to tedder with. This year, I'm leaning towards maybe using this tractor to tedder and the John Deere to rake. You know, we could do it all with the John Deere, but that kind of defeats the purpose of having multiple tractors. And ain't no reason this one can't be running. And it's got a canopy, but John Deere don't. And Dad don't want a canopy. I kind of want one to be out of the sun some. So I'll be doing less raking than I will tethering, I guess is what I'm getting at. So if I'm gonna be doing the tethering, I'll be using the farm track most likely. And that may change up. I've got the 245 set up and all that. Well, I'm just rambling, so let's get started. Oh, I guess that thing works better with the battery in it. Smashed my thumb down there a little while ago, cooking this thing up, and it don't feel too good. Tell you, with the stuff I've got now, the battery grease gun and the locking lube is awful nice. Awful nice. Well, there's a grease fit in there somewhere. Oh, whoop. I was rolling that thing around so I could get to my grease fit and didn't realize you all was moving with it. About took you out, didn't I? I ended up pulling this drive shaft out of there so I could grease the overload clutch and that universal joint. And that might be fun getting it back in there, is what I'm afraid. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Now, I believe that's got that. Tell you, you can run them newer tractors all you want to. And you get back on one of these that you've had for years and years and years and may not be as comfortable, may not be as well performing, but it's like being at home. I just love getting on this old farm track, especially when I've not been on it in a while and you just sit down on it and it's like just all the memories of things you've done with it come back to mind. I don't know if anybody else feels that way about their older equipment, but I sure do. rake out. Gotta move a picnic table. Get in there. Ones out that may not have seen it, this rake's got several different settings, adjustments on it. One is this tube will extend in and out, which makes your rake wheels farther apart from each other overall width, which gives you a little more spacing in the back. So I usually set it out on both sides at least one hole wider. Then on first cutting hay, I bring it into the inner hole so that my windrows don't get too thick. Now what I need to do is let the rake down and adjust the angle on each side to where that I have the right windrow spacing on the back of the rake. I like this rake. The adjustments on it are really good. You can see they're too close together now on the back. Ooh, about too close for my fat butt to fit between them to get in here too. Oh boy. All fouled up. Now, remembering what I set it on is the next thing. I need to put a Sharpie mark on it or something. I think number 2 right there. Let's see, wrong way. A little more. And this one will set to the same. That is set to the same. Now, is that right, or do I need to go out? Oh, excuse me. I don't know if I need to go out another one or not on that. Can't remember. We'll have to do a better job at keeping up with this stuff. I went on out to number 3 on both sides. That looks more right, but it could be totally wrong. We'll find out when we get started, I guess. I can always set it in. We'll find out. I don't know if this thing really needs greased or not. It kind of looks like it's maybe got greased pretty good towards the end of the year. Don't look too bad. I need to air up my tires though. I decided to go ahead and grease the bearings in the hay rake wheels themselves and aired the tires up. Lockout valve so it don't leak off. Well, I got my disc mower, tedder, and rake ready. Baler, it don't take long to get it ready usually. So, should be pretty good shape now. This wasn't much of a video, but it is what it is. Coming up next on our next video, we're supposed to be getting a oil drain pan. It's a 17-gallon drain pan with an electric pump to pump the oil out of the drain pan into a barrel or tank, and that's coming from Vivor. It's a sponsorship deal, and I'm really excited about that, so be sure and check out our video. It won't be so much on changing the oil and maintenance, it'll be more on the drain pan itself, but that's something I've always wanted and have been considering buying. This just happened to work out good, so hopefully it'll be a good product and something worth using. But that should be on our next video. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.